Hello, my name is Ashley Diaz, and today I will be presenting to you the final document that I created for my capstone work over the last 10 weeks. This document is what I presented to the healthcare faculty at St. Martin's University. This document is also being presented to stakeholders and will be used as a template for future weeding endeavors. The scope. The St. Martin University O'Grady Library's healthcare collection is currently severely outdated, with some resources that are superseded or inaccurate. This proposal advocates collection management that will remove unnecessary or outdated materials from the collection and encourages replacing with newer and more relevant ones. The method. Assessment and evaluation of library collections follows the American Library Association publication, the CREW method, which stands for Continuous Review, Evaluation, and Weeding. CREW uses the MUSTY guidelines, misleading, ugly, superseded, trivial, or elsewhere, as criteria for deselection of materials. First, appropriate call number ranges were identified, which constituted nursing relevant material, and nursing faculty approved these areas. Then raw data was pulled from the collection using the library catalog's analytics data. Included in the report was date titles were published, when titles were last circulated, number of uses, and how long titles have been in the collection. This complies with MUSTY criteria, especially superseded category, by analyzing the age of the collection and viewing past usage data. According to CREW, the healthcare field is recommended to assess the materials in its collection that are older than 5 years and that have been out of circulation for 3 years, which creates a 5-3 MUSTY rating. Titles older than 5 years are the first priority for removal, since healthcare disciplines should maintain the most current information for their practices. After publication date, use and circulation are valuable insights for titles that are historically relevant to campus courses. In order to ascertain what is actually being used and what is only taking up space. Lastly, the collection is physically assessed for acceptable condition determined by damage or wear. Titles outside of the 5-3 rating are then reviewed for the essential value as core text in a collection, and all non-essential titles outside of the criteria are recommended for deselection and removal. Findings. The analytics from the healthcare collection drastically highlight its age and current condition. As reflected in Table 1 in the document, the raw data gathered on the collection reveals that the average title in the collection was published before 2014, which hasn't been in circulation in more than 3 years, and is most likely to have been part of the collection from the first automated catalog system in 1997. The titles in the collection span in age from 1890 to 2019. With the majority being published in the 1990s. Of the 1,375 titles in the healthcare collection, 289, 21%, have been in use within the last 3 years. In the total collection, there are 76, 6%, of the titles that have been published within the last 5 years. While the 5-3 ratio recommends deselection of materials more than 5 years old, materials that have been in use within the last 3 should receive careful consideration for current relevance. Figures 1 and 2 in the document are representations of each of the criteria. Recommendation. The data reveals that a large portion of the current collection is outdated, and at least titles published before 2014 that have not circulated since 2016 should be considered for deselection. These titles should be assessed by nursing faculty for their relevance and essential nature to the field and place in the collection. Once seminal titles are identified by faculty, those titles in disrepair or in need of the newest edition for purchase should be recommended for replacement. Additionally, Any seminal titles not already in the collection should be recommended by nursing faculty. The collection is not important because of the number of titles, but rather the quality of the information that it contains. A complete approved list of these seminal titles should be finalized and returned to Stephanie by the end of April 2020. This provides time to process the deselected materials and purchase new titles for the fall semester. All non-essential titles will be removed, disposed of appropriately, most being placed in a used book retailer. This is a continuous process, and we will intentionally build and maintain the most current and relevant collection now and in the future. Thank you.